Budapest boasts its own Champs-Élysées, Andrássy Avenue, a grand, tree-lined boulevard and UNESCO World Heritage Site with its own personality, history, style, and plenty of stories to uncover. And today, we're walking the whole stretch from the heart of Andrássy Avenue all the way to Heroes Square and City Park to see what the hype is all about. So let's walk it together. It's wintertime in Budapest, and we're staying at Hotel Moments, right off Andrássy Avenue, an easy base for exploring the city. A few steps down Andrássy Avenue, and we're already at one of Budapest's crown jewels, the Hungarian State Opera House. This neo-Renaissance masterpiece by Miklós Jábel has been the home of Hungary's opera and ballet since 1884. Even from the street, the Opera House is incredibly ornate. Marble sphinxes at the entrances, Liszt and Urkel standing guard, and 16 famous composers watching from above. Inside, the Opera House is pure grandeur. Marble halls, gilded staircases, and an auditorium famous for its near-perfect acoustics, all within a UNESCO-listed landmark. Directly across from the Opera House stands the neo-Renaissance Drexler Palace, once a grand cafe and later a ballet school, now home to the W Budapest Hotel. A short walk from here brings us to Műves Coffee House, a beloved old Budapest cafe and a socializing place for artists and writers since 1898. It's smaller than the New York Cafe, but it has its own charm and interesting story to tell. After the cafe, we walked over to Monarchia Christmas Salon. It's a small, cozy place, and every inch is covered in Christmas decorations, glittery ornaments, wooden toys, and those warm, nostalgic colors. Next, we headed to Nagymi Zawadka, the little stretch known as Budapest Broadway, a row of lively theaters, cafes, and posters for new shows. Here you find the Operetta Theater, which has been part of this street since 1894. Right in front of it, there is a huge bell set out as public art. Not a historic monument, just something playful on the sidewalk. And next to it, Imre Kallman sits on a bench, the operetta composer cast in bronze. Across the street is the Thalia Theater, opened in 1913, and just nearby you'll find the Haffy statue, honoring comedian Geza Haffy and the humor he brought to Hungarian theater. Continuing on Andrássy Avenue, we reach Jokai Square, a quiet little plaza named after the writer Mór Jokai. Across the street is the statue of Adi Indra, the modernist poet, standing right at the corner where Andrássy meets Liszt Ferenc Square. The promenade opens into a long, cafe-lined walkway named after the composer, Liszt Ferenc, anchored by his bronze statue in the center. The square is a popular hangout for students from the Franz Liszt Academy of Music nearby. Farther along is the statue of József Attila, one of Hungary's most beloved poets. A little beyond that stands the statue of Sir George Solti, the world-famous conductor who studied at the Liszt Academy. And just ahead is the Franz Liszt Academy of Music, Hungary's premier conservatory, known for its striking Art Nouveau facade and its long legacy of training some of the country's greatest musicians. From here, Andrássy Avenue leads us straight to Octagon, the busy intersection day and night where the Grand Boulevard crosses the Ring Road. It's a lively hub of cafes, shops, and trams, and a natural midpoint along the avenue. After passing the House of Terror Museum, Andrássy Avenue opens up into a broader, quieter stretch line with huge 19th century buildings and old palaces dating back to the Austro-Hungarian era, many of them now embassies or cultural institutions. Darkened and flattened by age, war, pollution, and limited restoration, the facades give the area a somber feel, yet there's still a quiet old world charm to it. The traffic eases, the sidewalks widen, and the boulevard takes on a more residential, dignified character as it leads toward Kotali Koron, a grand circular square framed by 4 imposing neo-Renaissance palaces. Each corner holds a statue of a Hungarian national hero, giving the square a formal, almost monumental feel. Several embassies, including Bulgaria's, line this stretch of the boulevard. Despite the traffic circling around it, the space has a quiet, old-world elegance. A brief pause before Andrássy Avenue continues toward Hero Square, where the boulevard's green corridor runs directly into City Park. Ahead of us rises Heroes Square, Budapest Grand Ceremonial Plaza, marked by its towering Millennium Monument. At the center stands the 36-meter column, surrounded by statues of the 7 Magyar chieftains who led the Hungarian tribes into what would become Hungary. Behind them, 2 sweeping colonnades display kings, governors, and statesmen from 1,000 years of Hungarian history. As we continue toward City Park, the Museum of Fine Arts stands to one side with its grand neoclassical facade, a temple-like portico supported by massive Corinthian columns and detailed with classical sculptures. Facing it from the other side is the Hall of Art, home to rotating contemporary exhibitions, its warm terracotta tones and Greek Revival pediment giving it a striking, almost theatrical presence on the square. We continue our walk toward the historic iron Zelinsky Bridge, built for the 1896 Millennium Exhibition. In winter, the lake below it freezes into one of Europe's largest outdoor skating rinks, known as the City Park Ice Rink. And just beyond the bridge, you'll see skaters gliding across the ice, laughing and having a good time with Vágsahonyi Castle in the backdrop. From here, we head deeper into the quieter woods of City Park, following the paths towards Széchenyi Thermal Bath. Budapest sits on a network of natural hot spring waters. People have been soaking here for centuries. First the Romans, then the Ottomans, and the tradition never stopped. And today, just like everyone before us, we're joining the bandwagon. Is it a once-in-a-lifetime kind of experience? It really does feel that way, the kind of moment that turns into a future table conversation. With the steam rising all around, it's hard not to stay. So this is where we stop our story for now and settle in for the rest of the day. Our Andrássy walk ends here at the Thermal Bath. Until the next one, and thank you for watching.